Now we're going to go over some basic geometric deformers, which can be quite fun or useful depending on what you're looking for. So I've got my castle, a relatively complicated object, and I've got a cube over here. We're going to be bending things a lot. Remember, when you want to bend something, you need lots of little polygons, like on a sphere, to get that smooth-ish edge. So I'm just going to take my cube and add a ton of divisions to it. And let's start to mess around with the deformers. Go to Deform, and go to Nonlinear, and there are 6 of them that are fun to mess around with. Just hit this little dotted line up here and tear this out, so you can have that out for a bit. So I'm just going to click on the first one, Bend. I've applied it to my castle shape. And you'll see what it's actually done is it added this thing to my world, the Bend 1 handle. It's this line stuck on the castle. And if I click it, I can see it's got its attributes over here under Inputs, Bend 1. There it is. It's also attached to the castle itself. Bend 1. There it is. So, first thing you'll see on all these is envelope. Envelope is just the degree to which it's on or off. It goes from 0 to 1. Just leave it on 1. There are reasons you might want to mess around with this. Honestly, for our purposes, you can leave it alone. But after that, it's going to give you a bunch of stuff which determines how this deformer is working. So, for example, curvature. If I start to mess with that, you can see it's starting to warp my castle. And you can see the object itself has got this extra bit of detail. This little circle attached to it, which is changing. And I'm going to hit 4 so you can see that. Make sure we can click on that specifically. You can also mess with high bound and low bound. So let's leave the curvature on and then just, for example, take the low bound to nothing. It's only actually affecting anything above the center of this tool now. So I could also move the tool. You can see as I move it around, it starts to bend the object like so. So I could just stick it on one side with no low bound, only affecting stuff above, and, well, now I've got a dancing castle. Maybe I turn it sideways. So now the castle is dancing in this direction. It's a happy, happy, jolly castle. Look at it go. And that is basically the gist of it. It's an object. The more you move it around, the differently it applies to the object. You can mess with various attributes on it. And as another example, let's take my cube and let's add the twist. Start angle, high angle, da 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 da. You just want to mess around with these numbers and find out what they do. So start angle, I can see that's rotating the bottom. End angle, it's going to rotate the top. And I can make it super twisty. And once again, low bound and high bound, you understand those. I can start to affect exactly where it's changing this. So building yourself a screw, building yourself a warped castle, anything that could be bent, flared, signed, squashed, twisted, or waved. Make yourself some complicated cubes. Stick these on one by one until you've tried all 6 and just have some fun, and then you'll know what exactly these deformers can do for you.